Okay, we're gonna wait for Madison here for a second. She'll be hopping on. Get a little more light. Hello, welcome in. We're gonna be talking all things retreat and talking about healing and all this stuff. So welcome in, stay in, ask questions, let us know where you're at and all this, please, because we love to chat with y'all. Okay. All right, here's my request. We accept. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I actually did something I advise people not to do just
Oh
now.
no, what'd you do?
I rushed through my lunch, but
Yeah,
that's better to eat than not eat when you're supposed to eat. So,
yes, it is. Yes, it is. It has been a week of just doing the things and doing the things right when I can, and when I can't, I just at least do the things and just keep moving.
I mean, it's life. It's exactly what it should be like. And I love how you've been so honest on your story saying like, get off Instagram. Not like it's just not what it looks like on here ever. And one of the things I really kind of struggle with social media as well is like, I know it can't work out that. I mean, for some people, but they don't have what you have on your plate. So, um,
Yes,
and I love how God gave me the opportunity to go back to work to recognize a lot of those things too that I was putting up on my stories to just help people that are working. Like, just hey, this isn't going to look this way for you. Like,
mm-hmm.
you're just gonna have to grab at whatever you can do and
Yes,
consistently do that, and glorify and be happy for the other people that can do more, because that's how it
yes.
is.
Yeah. I mean, even me not going to work in an office, like an actual, now that I do bookkeeping, I
Right.
technically go in an office, but it's just balancing that with having, a toddler at home and then a kid in elementary school. And like I'm running in and out all day. So it's like I'm not in one spot all day. So it's like, okay, you got to get up early and get your foundations done first because you don't know what else is going to happen. And you don't know what you're going to have time for. So,
That's so cool though that your plate is getting more full, because that means God won't give you more until you're ready to handle it, right? So I'm
yes.
glad that he's like, hey, you got this, let's go.
Yes, 100%. I definitely feel like the timing is never like a coincidence. Like it's always like God's perfect timing.
Yes, yes. So I'm really excited for this conversation today, because I think that between everything that we're talking about too, I think movement and healing are two things that have honestly become so overcomplicated, right?
Hmm.
Speaking of overcomplicating our lives and just looking at Instagram and people's stories and trying to apply that into your own life.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of women are just exhausted to do health perfectly, if we want to
Hmm.
call it that, right?
Yeah.
So today both of us wanted to talk about the retreat coming up, right?
Hmm.
Obviously, and about what it looks like to move, a little bit about the microbiome, what does sustainable healing look like,
Hmm.
and honestly, the retreat per se being in the Gulf Shores is just going to be built around that exact idea
Hmm.
that we're talking about. So the healing should never consume your life. It should support it.
Hmm.
And that's one of the things that we nowadays have to be very cautious about, because we have so many options of what we can throw at our health and what we're doing. So I have Madison obviously with me. We've both had to learn sustainable movement, or what it looks like in our lives. And it's different for her than it is for me. And
Hmm.
so we're also going to talk a bit about the membership throughout the conversation, because last month in the membership, Madison, we worked so hard on strongholds there.
Hmm.
And now we're really starting to build off of an actual foundation. And this is work that I do one-on-one with my clients, right? We worked on that foundation first and foremost with you, as we call gut lining, right? So, as I've moved through this, I've recognized that the mental game is almost sometimes stronger than everything else. And so building a foundation with that is what I always tell you guys, like make the time first before you start putting things in there. Create the schedule, create the life around what you want it to look like before you start even trying to implement things other
Mm-hmm.
than like putting time in there. But
Mm-hmm.
we've worked so hard, and I've seen changes now in mine, and I'm like, okay, like we're establishing something here. This is really good. We're healing from all of this, and that's really the point of all of this, like
Mm-hmm.
creating the rhythms and that lifestyle so that women can actually sustain their health and whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is that they're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing that I think we've done in health culture, like this whole health culture that exists now, is making movement feel like punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're not killing yourself in the gym, if you're
Mm-hmm.
not doing hard workouts constantly, are you dripping sweat every day? Are you doing the most? I mean, it is such a culture. If you're not doing that, somehow it doesn't count. Your
Mm-hmm.
walking doesn't count. But
Yeah.
when you actually start to understand the body, the microbiome, your hormones, your cycle,
Mm-hmm.
you realize that movement is really communication. Like you're actually talking to your body and your body is
Mm-hmm.
talking back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So your movement will help with digestion. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
help with motility, with your
Mm-hmm.
blood sugar, with your lymphatic drainage, with
Mm-hmm.
your stress regulation, right? Our
Yeah.
cortisol management and
Yeah.
your circadian rhythm. I mean, it's still tied into that. It's not just how we eat, when we eat, and when we expose ourselves. If we're working out
Mm-hmm.
at 10 o'clock, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna you're gonna cause a circadian message there that you're gonna give
Yeah.
your body.
Yeah.
Um, so movement doesn't always have to look extreme to
Mm-hmm.
actually be effective. And this is one of the hardest things when I start working with my clients. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm almost like, you need to slow down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to stop doing so much. Even if it's
Yes.
just for a period of time, you can find the spot, but you have to
Mm-hmm.
slow down. That's going to be more effective. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest here. One of the healthiest things that you can do, you, whoever is listening here, one of the best things that you can do is just walking consistently.
Mm-hmm.
It's strength training wisely. So it means that you want to sync it to your circadian or to your infradian cycle, to your menstrual period and all that. You want to stretch. You
Mm-hmm.
want to work on just simple mobility. Being outdoors more is going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And just living an active life, period. I
Yeah.
think that is the definition almost of sustainable movement. And it's
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest missing pieces for women.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I know that you've struggled with this all or nothing side of movement before.
Yep.
What helped you finally feel sustainable or make it feel sustainable instead of stressful?
Really just taking the pressure off. And we talked at the beginning about just kind of not being on social media, because when you're in the health space and you love, knowing about health things, hearing about health things, the things that pop up on your feed are women who are bodybuilding, women who do this full time, women who are not, don't have two little kids at home and aren't, cooking for their families and doing all these other things. It's like, they're spending 2 hours in the gym, and their focus all day is working out and eating, and it's just like, it's not realistic. And so I think quieting that noise and coming back to my reality of like, this is what your day looks like. You have to have enough energy. So you do your movement, but you also have to have enough energy to take care of your kids and keep up with your kids who want to go to the park after school, who have practices where you're out moving, doing things. It's just like, you have to have enough energy. Well, I had to kind of figure out between, yes, I still want to move my body. I walk every morning, I walk every day. I pretty much always do a walk in the morning because that is more of a mental. That's getting the morning light. That's the mental. That's kind of setting my insulin, my blood sugar for the day. That's stability. And then depending on where I'm at my cycle is what workout I do in the morning. So if I'm 5 days out from my period, follicular, feeling good, not deep into luteal, I'm lifting weights 4 days a week. I'm trying to get 4 good lifts. One of those is really like a Pilates day.
Mhm.
So like 3 strong lifts. And then my other days are just resting and walk or stretching, resting, whatever, and walking and playing with my kids. And in the past, I was trying to lift crazy heavy like 6 days a week. I was walking with that and I was under fueling. I wasn't eating enough with that too. So my energy was in the tank and I was like, I can't do all of this. I don't have the energy. And so really just it's like if you can't keep up with your kids, then what's the point of doing these things if it's not giving you, you're not having leftover energy or it's not fueling that energy. So I really just had to come back to my present life and look at what's realistic for me and our schedule. And a lot of times Cody and I go for walks after lunch. We try to go on walks in the evening with the kids, and these aren't like these are like 20-minute walks.
Mhm.
And so it's more just about getting something in. And then on the days where it's like you have time, you feel good, you're fueled, you feel really strong, you're in a good part of your cycle, then you do the weights. And so you're not lifting weights and going balls to the wall your entire month. Your body, women, we cannot do that.
I know. Preach it. Preach it
Yes.
from high above. I agree.
Yeah.
I love the fact that, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head that we don't think about, and that's why we've been working on strongholds too, is because we have to be able to recognize the where the enemy is placing those games of comparison, right? Like where is it that you're looking at your life and being like, this isn't as good as it should be, or you're making yourself have to be more than because you are watching something. And that's just a really good guardrail to put. And the
Mhm.
freedom that that gives you is
Mhm.
incredible, right? Because all of a sudden you're not gauging yourself on somebody else's life. You're gauging
Mhm.
yourself on the position that you are now with the tools that God gave you now, and living in that present. Like you said, it's so important.
Yeah.
I know Faith was commenting on here that she's had to learn that she has limitations, and
Mhm.
so that she can accomplish that mission, and rest is
Mhm.
required. Rome wasn't
Mhm.
built in a day, 100%. So while yes, Rome isn't built in a day, we always want to not give ourselves the excuses. I get that stuff too, right? Like you want to be a person that wakes up in the morning and walks. Well, you're going to have to actually wake up in the morning and walk,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's something that you're going to have to do. But maybe you only walk 20 minutes, but your goal, that Rome built in a day, maybe you want to walk an hour. So we're going to build that in the future. But again, putting the foundation in. If you want to be a person that wakes up in the morning, the one thing that you're going to have to do is the foundation. You got to wake up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So those things are going to be important. And I think so many women can relate to what you just said. I mean, it's
Mhm.
incredible how many women will relate to that. So I'm so happy that you
Mhm.
shared your heart on that, because sometimes movement becomes another stressor for women.
Mhm.
Instead of something that supports the body, like you're saying, like, hey, my morning walk is supporting the rest of my
Yeah.
day, right? That's what movement should be for women, not something that's really kind of stressing us out. If your nervous system already is feeling overwhelmed, then what's going to happen? Your hormones are already going to feel dysregulated. If your cortisol is already struggling, sometimes constantly pushing harder on that envelope is not going to actually help you at all. It's going to put you back on the success that you
Mhm.
want. So I'm not saying I'm anti-exercise at all.
Yeah.
I love movement though.
Yeah.
And I think we have to ask always, is this actually supporting my
Mhm.
life, or is it consuming my life? Again, like,
Mhm.
is it a support or is it a consumption here that's happening? And the same, I'd say this with Instagram. That's been my thing,
Mhm.
actually for a month and a half now. Like, I don't want to consume Instagram. I want
Mhm.
it to be something that is supporting me and supporting
Mhm.
others, and that is not causing consumption in others. What I'm putting out, I don't want it to feel like you need to sit and consume it either. I
Yeah.
want it to support you. And I've always kind of tried to stay in that lane. There's many tricks that people use to keep you coming and consuming. I try to
Mhm.
steer clear of that because I don't think that it's the best thing to do. It doesn't
Mhm.
promote a healthy lifestyle, because the healthiest lifestyle is the one that you can actually maintain. And so,
Mhm.
if we're overworking and doing all the things, then we're not going to be able to maintain it. So,
Mhm.
what do you think women get wrong about movement and healing the most? Is it the working out too much? Is it the cycles of working in and out? Is it not finding the proper time to do it? What do you think is holding them the most?
I think it's partly getting into a rhythm and paying attention to what your body needs. For instance, I was in Ludio all last week. We were out of town, which
Mhm.
I did have a place to work out, but I wasn't sleeping as well. So the movement that I was doing my walking because that's kind of just a non-negotiable, and that's the easiest movement you can do. When all else fails, just walk.
Yeah.
And so then I was like doing a little bit of like Pilates and like just more stretching, more functional. And I was like listening to my body. And again, this week, like my period started, my energy is kind of in the toilet. And so it's again, I'm not picking up super heavy weights. I'm doing very light weights, functional movements, and paying attention to that because I think if women go all in the beginning, they burn themselves out and they're like, this isn't working. Why do I look more inflamed? Why am I more tired? So I think it's the part of not really connecting your cycle to the movement you're doing. And then it's like, well, I'm being consistent with all my movement, but you're not paying attention to your cycle. And so again, like you said, that hurts you. So I think that is a main thing because I feel like the cycle and the movement are not talked about enough together and how they work together. I mean, I didn't realize that for so many years until you brought that to my attention that like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. You really shouldn't be doing this at parts of your cycle, you know? So I think that is a big like stronghold with the healing part because your body can't heal if you're in luteal and it's already very sensitive to stress and you're putting in big stressors like, you know, big weights and crazy movements.
Mhm.
So I think that is a big thing that I've experienced and figured out. Another thing I think is just putting in the time, you know, finding the time. And it's like, everybody again, it's like, you know, this is a cliche thing, everybody has the same amount of time in a day, and it's just like you can always find pockets of time if you're planning out your day. There's always little pockets of time, and I mean, you can even stand up from a desk that you're sitting at and do squats right there for 5-10 minutes, you know what I mean? Like there's always something. So I think just getting over that excuse of like I don't have time, well, it's like you're just not making the time, and you can make the time.
Yeah, I think that the best thing that you, or one of the things that I love the most, maybe I can segue a little bit into that, is the fact that what you just said is the time thing. A lot of
Yeah.
times we don't think we have the time. And there is a very funny thing that people will tell you, like, you have the same amount of times as me. And they're like, look, I have two kids and I run my own business from home and I do this and I do that. And I totally agree with that to a certain degree
Mhm.
because now that I work outside of the home, I don't have the same hours that I had when I had
Yeah.
worked at home. However, I will say that I think that's a tool of the enemy because it makes, we think as women that it has to feel like hard work. Like it
Mhm.
has to feel hard. And so getting up and doing 10 squats 3 times a day at your job, you're not doing it because somebody told you that's not enough,
Mhm.
when that is not the position that you are in. You don't have the 2 hours to go and work at the gym, but you
Yeah.
do have 3 sessions of 10-minute squats. And guess what? You could probably do push-ups too somewhere,
Mhm.
or you could do calf raises, or you can go walk outside at lunch
Yeah.
instead of sitting and scrolling on your social media, or scroll on your social media while you're walking. Like there are things, and that's I think what people mean with those, I hope.
Mhm.
Because but like if you aren't suffering enough, you're not restricting enough, if you're not sweating enough, you're not
Mhm.
lifting enough weight, then somehow again we think it doesn't count.
Yeah.
That is a lie
Yeah.
of the enemy, and it's straight up holding women back in
Mhm.
every corner of the world.
Mhm.
The body responds incredibly well to consistency,
Mhm.
and listen to this, safety.
Mhm.
Right? So that is going to go with your cycle. You can
Mhm.
be consistently working during luteal excessively during a point where your body wants to feel safe and you're making it feel unsafe. So now your consistency is going against your safety, and they work hand in hand. And when they are not working hand in hand, they are working against each other. It
Yeah.
works together, especially for women. So it's super important.
Yes.
Also, your microbiome likes rhythm.
Mhm.
Your hormones like rhythm. God made
Yep.
you to be rhythmic. Like this
Yep.
is so important. Your
Mhm.
body just loves predictable support.
Mm-hmm.
So that links as well with what we were just saying. And I actually was just talking to a client this morning, and she is attacked by the enemy with this whole being very lax with her calendar and her time
Mm-hmm.
because she doesn't want to feel constricted.
Mm-hmm.
When the whole point of running your calendar and having time slots allotted is to actually have freedom,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's guardrails for your life. Just
Yep.
like God put guardrails for you, have to put, because otherwise the enemy will steal your time. It will keep you an hour on Instagram, and then all of a sudden, hey, you do not have time to clean your house. You do not have time to prep your food. You do not have time to go walk. It is stealing your time to
Mm-hmm.
just dilly dally and not look at the time that you have in the day. You have to be intentional with what
Yep.
you're doing with your time.
Yeah.
So, honestly, one of the biggest things that I've learned personally is the healthiest thing isn't always the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
really not the hardest thing that I've done has all most of the time taken me to an unhealthy spot rather than a healthier spot. And
Mm-hmm.
this ties into what we've been doing again in the membership too, because last month, like I said, we've been working on strongholds, and not just in a dramatic sort of spiritual sense, but like looking at patterns that are keeping women stuck. And some of them
Mm-hmm.
have been perfectionism,
Mm-hmm.
inconsistency,
Yeah.
stress addiction. We are
Mm-hmm.
addicted to stress.
Mm-hmm. Being busy.
uh,
You're addicted to being busy.
yes, which is it's the stress. Yeah,
Yep.
we're all
Yeah.
we put more on our calendars because apparently we weren't stressed enough the day before.
Yep.
We're over controlling has been something that some of the women have been working on,
Mm-hmm.
and disconnecting from the body. I mean, we do this again when we step away from looking at what place you are in your cycle. You are disconnecting from your body, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not a healthy thing to do.
No.
Because sometimes the issue isn't that women are not aware of what they need to be actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's that something deeper is actually pulling them out of that alignment. And
Mm-hmm.
now in the membership, we've really been building foundations, like I said, because healing per se has to be built on a foundation. If you don't have a foundation and you throw a bunch of things at it, they're just going to fall through at some point because your
Yep.
foundation is going to be crumbling.
Yep.
So, because healing has to be built on foundations, you have to establish rhythm. You have to look at your sleep. You have to
Mm-hmm.
look at your nourishment. You have to look at your
Mm-hmm.
movement. Your
Mm-hmm.
nervous system is going to need supported. You have to have connection, which is what I've always missed in my programs and why I'm so happy about the membership. And then you have to be consistent. And
Yeah.
again, when you have community, you can have people keeping you accountable, which is really important. So really the membership has honestly become such a beautiful place for women to do this and to work together. In your view, what has surprised you the most from just what you've been hearing and maybe seeing of the women inside the membership?
I guess it's not a surprise, but it's like everybody's facing the same challenges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think in the world that we're in with social media where everything can look perfect, it feels very isolating when you're going through something and you're like, I'm the only one going through this because nobody else is sharing the hard. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
like in the membership, everybody's sharing like what they're going through and what they're facing and challenges. So I think, I mean, it's I guess it's surprising, but it's not. When it
Yeah,
when it comes to your attention, you're like, oh, like why am I? I'm not surprised. But I think just the fact of like everybody's going through something similar to some degree. It's just in different ways. And we can all, talk about it and work through it and relate. And I just think even on in the community, even that relation is that like connection that we're not able to obviously have with everybody, in person all the time.
absolutely. I think honestly how much women need community.
Mhm.
And so many women are just trying to heal completely alone, and it's really hard and almost impossible if you think about it. When women are finally around other women who understand this kind of healing,
Mhm.
we're not judging them, they're not adding pressure to them, they're not trying to, or they're actually just trying to build healthier rhythms within their life
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
uh, they're caring about that root cause. and sustainable healing that we've been talking about, it really changes things for women, because healing is hard when your environment is constantly pulling you backwards, right? Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to keep like something that's pulling you back and you're like running it. That's a hard workout. I don't like it. And we need to stop doing that. Community really matters so
Yeah.
much. So that's exactly also why I'm excited for the retreat. I
Yes.
mean, the retreat is basically an in-person extension of everything we're building inside the membership and what I've spent the past 6 years building in the Gutsy method. It's a chance for everybody that's going to participate to slow down, to reconnect with your body, to get outside. That sounds silly, but a lot of us don't get outside as much as we can or should. To move naturally, the way that our bodies want to move, to cook together, which is one of my passions, and I want to impart this on every single woman on earth, to relax, because, like we said, we live addicted to stress and building our schedules around not having any breaks in there, to learn a few things, hopefully, and to connect with women that value the same things. And the house in Gulf Shores, honestly, guys, it's gorgeous.
It's
Like
gorgeous.
it's peaceful, it's grounding,
Yeah.
it's the kind of place where your nervous system can actually take a breath.
Hmm.
And I think women need that right now, for sure.
Hmm.
So, Madison, what are you personally most excited for at the retreat?
Just being in person. I mean, obviously I love like the house that we're going to, my husband and I manage, and it's so stunning, and I love Gulf Shores and that area, and all of that is great, but really you can't get the in-person connection you know what I mean? You can't get it anywhere else. So really just being able to have face-to-face conversations and, share our knowledge and what I've learned and what you've taught me, and just be together and just kind of be still in the moment, and the I don't know, the scenery, and like moving, and just be in those moments with other women.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there's something really healing about women getting together in person, especially, if
Yeah.
you've had a little connection. I just got to meet my friend Faith in person for the first time
Oh my
from
gosh.
since 2018. We've been friends since
Oh my gosh.
2018. And I mean, it's so good. And I remember the first time I met you and I just can't wait to give you another hug and be like,
Yes.
okay, like we've grown
Yes.
so much since the one time I saw you in person to now.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. But
Yes.
it's not going to be online. There's no rush. We're not
Mhm.
distracted with
Yes.
anything. We just can sit and have real conversations that aren't being monitored for anything except for our spirit
Yeah.
and for Holy Spirit there and just guiding conversation. I just can't wait for that. We're going to be eating real food. We're going to be having real movement, real rest, and all of that really matters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am so excited also because we have Christine Bashara coming into the
Yes.
room, which is going to join us too. And she's honestly one of the goats for goat microbiome health. I cannot believe we have. I mean, I'm so grateful that she's coming for sure. She's based
Yes.
out of New York, and the amount of knowledge that she has is incredible. But what I love about her is she makes information practical,
Mm.
approachable, and she really understands gut microbiome and as a form of root cause, and that's her perspective for
Mhm.
helping people.
Yeah.
So I know that you might know her a little bit. Is there anything, and if you don't have anything, that's fine, but is there anything that makes you think why Christine was someone that we would want really involved in this?
I think, I mean, I don't know her super well. So
Mhm.
I think from what you've said, really just understanding more how the gut works, because it's so intricate, and there's so many pieces, and like, even just doing your one-on-one, and, doing my own journey since then. I've learned so much, but I just think there's so much more you can learn. And every time, someone's educating on it, like you pick up different
Yeah.
pieces. It's kind of like reading the Bible and rereading it again. It's like every time you're getting different tidbits of information.
I
So
love that
yeah.
comparison. I want it. I want women to leave the retreat with both practical understanding and practical application, right? We were talking about this on my hello. We were talking about this morning in my Bible study group about the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Like
Mhm.
knowledge is earthly. We can have all the knowledge in the world, but only God gives wisdom, right? So
Mhm.
I want that. Like we need the understanding. We also need to be able to apply it. So we need the knowledge and we need the wisdom. It's not the same. You can know about gut microbiome all you want, but if you do not know how to apply it into your own
Mhm.
life, it's
Yeah.
not going to make a difference. And that's, a lot of the things that we're saying, right? Like we cannot heal in all this. We know the healing techniques, we know the movement techniques, but we don't know how to apply them because we're looking to somebody else
Mhm.
to place that in our lives. We need to learn to put that for us. And that's why
Mhm.
the Gutsy method is so different. It's because it has room for you to be you in
Yeah.
there. It teaches you how to apply all of the knowledge that we're um, speaking about, or that the internet is speaking about. So I really didn't want this retreat to just feel inspiring. There's plenty of
Mhm.
those that are around, right? You can go and get facials with somebody and put your feet in the sand and feel
Mhm.
inspired for 3 months. But I really want a weekend where everyone goes home like
Mhm.
changed. I wanted
Mhm.
women to leave feeling grounded, educated, connected, supported, and
Mhm.
empowered. The most important thing, almost empowered to actually live this way. So,
Mhm.
if you're watching this and you've been feeling pulled deeper into your healing journey, just maybe pointing toward a place where you want to slow down, where you want to build healthier rhythms, or heal in community rather than by
Mhm.
yourself, I really think that this retreat is going to be very special for you. And honestly, the membership is also such a special place for you to start if you
Mhm.
want to start building those foundations now, because you don't have to wait until then. You can just start getting in the community and start really getting excited about hugging your best friend that you encountered in the membership. That would be so great. If you want retreat information, you can DM me, you can DM Madison, you can comment retreat. If you want membership information, you can comment membership. We really would love to have you in the community. And I'm so excited for this, and I continue to put it into God's hands for the people that He's going to bring to this. And so I know that Madison is really excited about this as well. She just got back from Gulf Shores. I really thought she was going to move there at some point, but these kids are keeping them where they're at. I mean, it's either going to be Gulf Shores or Naples. I mean,
Right. There's got to be a beach.
there's got to
We
be a
will
beat.
not permanently move somewhere this next point that doesn't have a beach. So,
That's right. You hear that, kitties, right?
and they love the beach. After we go, Cody's always like, "Would you guys want to move here?" And Blaine's like, "Yeah." And then he like thinks about his friends at home. He's
Yeah.
like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Will you make new friends?"
Yeah. There are so many kids around here.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how Gulf Shores is in the sense of like, when it gets cold here, and I'm like, we can't go further south. And it's like Key West, and I'm like, there is no
Uh,
life for kids at Key West. Like, you can't do that.
yes. Yes. Yeah. How far can you go?
Yeah, I this is as far as we're going, but thank you so much everybody for coming in. Madison,
Yes.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your time.
Of
Enjoy the rest of
course.
your day and your family with
You
your weekend with your family. And then we'll
too.
see you guys in 2 weeks. We're going to talk about a different topic then. You always, if you want to know specifically about a topic, let us know too on the comments, and we'll
Yes.
make that happen. But we're looking forward to see you, because I know that you're still watching here and you want to go to the retreat. So let us know.
Yes. All
All right.
right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.